feel like that's something that if I
And now, a reading from World War Z by Max Brooks.
Kids will hate me. So let's go.
Introduction. It goes by many names. The Crisis, The Dark Years, The Walking Plague, Please Stop Let's Playing I Wanna Be the Guy Gaiden. As well as newer and more hip titles such as World War Z or Z War 1. I personally dislike the last moniker as it implies an inevitable Z War 2. For me, it will always be the Zombie War. And while many may protest the scientific accuracy of the word zombie, they will be hard-pressed to discover a more globally accepted term for the creatures that almost caused our extinction. Zombie remains a devastating word, unrivaled in its power to conjure up so many memories or emotions. And it is these memories and emotions, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, that are the subject of this book. This record of the greatest conflict in human history owes its genesis to a much smaller, much more personal conflict between me and the chairperson of the United Nations Post-War Commission report. My initial work for the Commission could be described as nothing short of a labour of love. My travel stipend, my security access, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, my battery of translators, both human and electronic, as well as my small but nearly priceless voice-activated Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, PAL, the greatest gift the world's slowest typist could ask for. Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, all spoke to the respect and value my work was afforded on this project. Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. So needless to say, it came as a shock when I found almost half of that work deleted from the report's final edition. It was all too intimate, the chairperson said during one of our many animated discussions, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. Too many opinions, too many feelings. That's not what this report is about. We need clear facts and figures, unclouded by the human factor. Of course, she was right. The official report was a collection of cold, hard data, an objective, after-action report that would allow future generations to study the events of that apocalyptic decade without being influenced by the human factor. But it isn't the human factor what connects us so deeply to our... isn't the human factor what connects us so deeply to our past? Will future generations care as much for chronologies and casualty, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden statistics as they would for the personal accounts of individuals not so different from themselves? By excluding the human factor, aren't we asking the kind of personal detachment from a history that may, heaven forbid, lead us one day to repeat it? And in the end, isn't the human factor the only true difference, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, between us and the enemy we now refer to as the living dead? Shut up. I presented this argument, perhaps less professionally than was appropriate to my boss, who after my final exclamation of, "We can't let these stories die," respond immediately with, "Then don't. Write a book. You've still got all your notes, and the legal, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, freedom to use them. Who's stopping you from keeping these stories alive in the pages of your own, expletive-deleted, book?" Some critics will, no doubt, take issue with the concept of a personal history book so soon after the end of worldwide hostilities. After all, it has been only 12 years since VA Day was declared in the continental United States, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, and barely a decade since the last major world power celebrated its deliverance on Victory in China Day. Given that most people consider VC Day to be the official end, then how can we have real perspective when, in the words of a UN colleague, we've been at peace about as long as we were at war? Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. This is a valid argument, and one that begs a response. In the case of this generation, those who have fought and suffered to win us this decade of peace, time is as much an enemy as it is an ally. Yes, the coming years will provide hindsight, adding greater wisdom to memories seen through the light of a matured, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden post-war world. But many of those memories may no longer exist, trapped in bodies and spirits too damaged or infirm to see the fruits of their victory harvested. It is no great secret that global life expectancy is a mere shadow of its former pre-war figure. Malnutrition, pollution, the rise of previously eradicated ailments, even in the Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, United States, with its resurgent economy and universal healthcare, are the present reality. There simply are not enough resources to care for all the physical and psychological casualties. It is because of this, yes, please spam the jumps, the enemy of time, that I have forsaken the luxury of hindsight and published these survivors' accounts. Perhaps decades from now, someone will take up the task of recording the recollections of the much older, much wiser survivors. Perhaps I might even be one of them. Although this is primarily a book of memories, it includes many of the details, technological, social, economic, and so on, found in the original Commission report, as they are related to the stories of those voices featured in these pages. Please stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. This is their book, not mine. I have tried to maintain as invisible a presence as possible. Those questions included in the text are only there to illustrate those that might have been posed by readers. I have attempted to reserve judgment or commentary of any kind, haha, and if there is a human factor that should be removed, let it be my own.
Does it never come down again? Damn controls! Damn controls!
Yes, damn controls. It's so hard, this game.
Oh!
Okay, chapter 1, warnings. The United Federation of China. Please stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. At its pre-war height, this region boasted a population of over 35 million people. Well done. Now there are barely 50,000. Reconstruction funds have been slow to arrive in this part of the country, the government choosing to concentrate on the more densely populated coast. There is no central power grid. Please stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. No running water besides the Yangtze River. But the streets are clear of rubble, and the local security council has prevented any post-war outbreaks. The chairman of that council, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, is Kwang Ling Shu, a medical doctor who, despite his advanced age and wartime injuries, still manages to make house calls to all his patients. Please stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. The first outbreak I saw in a remote village that officially had no name. The residents called it New Dechang, but this was more out of nostalgia than anything else. Their former home, Old Dechang, had stood since the period of Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, the Three Kingdoms, with farms and houses and even trees said to be centuries old. When the Three Georges Dam was completed and reservoir waters began to rise, much of Dechang had been disassembled brick by brick, then rebuilt on higher ground. This new Dechang, however, Please Stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden, was not a town anymore, but a National Historic Museum. It must have been a heartbreaking irony for those poor peasants to see their town saved, but then only being able to visit it as a tourist. Maybe that is why some of them chose to name their newly constructed hamlet New Dechang, to preserve some connection to their heritage, even if it was only a name. I personally didn't know that this other New Dechang existed, so you can imagine how confused I was when the call came in. The hospital was quiet. It had been a slow night, even for the increasing number of drunk driving accidents. Motorcycles were becoming very popular. Please stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. We used to say that your Harley Davidsons killed more young Chinese than all the GIs in the Korean War. That's why I was so grateful for a quiet shift. I was tired, my back and feet ached. I was on my way out to smoke a cigarette and watch the dawn when I heard my name being paged. Please stop Let's Playing I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. The receptionist that night was new and couldn't quite understand the dialect. There had been an accident or an illness. It was an emergency, that part was obvious, and could we please send help at once? What could I say? The younger doctors, the kids who think medicine is just a way to pad their bank accounts, they certainly weren't going to help some Nongmin just for the sake of helping. I guess I'm still an old revolutionary at heart. Our duty is to hold ourselves responsible to the people. Those words still mean something to me, and I try to remember that as my deer bounced and banged over dirt roads the government had promised but never quite gotten around to paving. I had a devil of a time finding the place. Officially it didn't exist, and therefore wasn't on any map. I became lost several times and had to ask directions from locals who kept thinking I meant the museum town. I was in an impatient mood by the time I reached the small collection of hilltop homes. I remember thinking, this had better be damned serious. Once I saw their faces, I regretted my wish. There were 7 of them, all on all on cots, all barely conscious. The villagers had moved them into their new communal meeting hall. Please stop let's playing, I want to be the guy guiding. The walls and floor were bare cement.
What?
The air was cold.
Seriously?
Yes! Thank you, Cayenne, for making people who don't download the patch have their games flip upside down. You fucking stupid moron.
Can't even functionally control it.
Yes. Oh God.
Why did I do this? I said I wouldn't rage. I promised I wouldn't rage.
Please stop let's playing, I want to be the guy guiding. Ah.